This is the cheapest multi-effect unit available on Thomann. Let's see if it's any good on bass. Hi there, my name is Erik and I play bass, and today we are checking out the Valetone GP5. This is the cheapest multi-effects unit that you can buy on Thomann. It will set you back around 77 euros or 80 bucks. Before we get started with this video is not sponsored in any way, shape or form by Valetone, as I paid for this unit myself. So this pedal comes with a pretty nice and robust casing, I must say. I'm pretty impressed with the weight actually, and you know, the general feel of the pedal. It doesn't feel as cheap as it actually is. You have two controls here on the top. You have a volume control and your parameter switch thingy here. On the top you have the option to power it using either USB-C or a 9-volt power supply. You have your input here and your output, which also serves as a headphone output, which is cool. You can program the foot switch here to either toggle between presets or to bypass and engage certain effects, and you can also use it to engage the tuner if you press and hold it, which is very nice. You can use this as an audio interface using the USB-C cable, and it also powers up using said USB-C cable, which is a nice feature. So the Valetone GP5 comes with a bunch of effects and pedals. You have first up a noise gate, which, you know, does its job. You then have two different compressors, one which I guess is the Boss traditional compressor, and a compressor based on the Keeley compressor. And in the same category or block section, or what will you, as the compressors, you have a few effects. As you can hear, they left certain things to be desired there. And following that block, you have the distortion pedals, and you actually have one bass distortion or bass overdrive, which I don't know what it's based on. I'm assuming that it's some sort of, Darkglass B7K or something along those lines. Maybe a sound amp. I have no idea. It doesn't say, but it sounds pretty decent. And after that you have 3 bass amps, you have an Ampeg, you have a Vox, and you have a Mesa Boogie. And you have 2 different bass speakers available as well. And here is where you can really, improve on your tone if you import some third-party IRs. I downloaded the Shiftline IR pack and loaded that one into this GP5, and those IRs are completely free, and they provided such a huge improvement to the overall tone of the GP5, if I may say so myself. Then we have a few post effects, if you will. You have a chorus, some delay, and some reverb. So the GP5 also serves as a neural amp modeler or NAM loader, and here is where I feel that the GP5 misses the mark on bass, because if you engage the NAM files, you bypass the amp and cabinet block, and that means that you have to profile an entire rig with, you know, an IR and everything on it. If you just profile a pedal, which I guess a lot of us do, then you will only get the NAM profile of the pedal available, and you won't be able to run it into one of the factory amps and an IR, which I kind of feel sucks, because that would have made this pedal a whole lot better. One thing that other NAM loaders like the Darkglass Anagram does very well is that you can blend between your clean signal and the NAM profile. You can't do that in the GP5, and full disclaimer, the NAM profiles are actually converted into a lesser sample rate called, I think it's Snaptone or something like that. So there is a slight difference in tone. However, like my friend Glenn Fricker pointed out in his great video of this very pedal, you won't notice it. So the good things about this pedal is, one, the size and the actual, you know, casing. It feels really robust. I'm pretty impressed with the build quality of this one. It doesn't feel, you know, cheap and plasticky. It feels actually pretty damn solid. I love the fact you can power this using the USB-C cable into your computer and bus power it. That means you don't have to, you know, look for a power supply along with the USB-C cable. You can just plug it into your computer and jam along. It has Bluetooth audio, so you can use this as a practice amp if you will. So that's a nice feature. I really enjoy that you can assign pedals to the foot switch and, you know, go between, say, a clean signal and a distorted signal. However, the fact that the NAM loader bypasses the amp and cabinet lock is a huge minus in my book, and I really would have loved to see it being able to handle at least an IR along with the NAM capture. However, it is what it is, and for 77 euros, I can't really complain about that. One thing I can complain about though is the octavers, which sound pretty darn hideous if you ask me. I don't know who did the algorithm for that, but it doesn't sound good at all on bass. The envelope filters are pretty okay actually, but the octavers are just horrible. I have no idea who programmed those, and I couldn't have done a better job, but they sound terrible. So that's the ugly part of this pedal. So the size, the price, and the tones that you can actually get out of the factory amps are pretty darn good, if I may say so myself, especially in a more, you know, rock and metal context, which is where I usually thrive and play most of my music. And the fact that you can just put this in your gig bag along with a set of headphones and a power supply means that you can, you know, jam along to your favorite tracks over Bluetooth, which is a really nice thing to have, you know, backstage when you're warming up and your pedal board is on stage. So that is a huge plus in my book. The NAM loader in this one is sadly a swing and a miss in this one as of now. Might improve in future updates, who knows, but all in all, for 77 euros, it's not half bad. So if you're curious about, you know, digital modelers and you don't want to spend a whole lot of money, then check this one out. You will need the phone app to be able to tweak out your presets. You can't do this on the unit itself, which is, I guess, a minus to some people. However, I don't mind that at all, as I'm, you know, I always have my phone with me. So you'll need the phone app to edit your presets. With that being said, for 77 euros, it's a pretty cool pedal, if I may say so myself. So with all this being said and done, my name is Erik and I play bass. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell, and I'll see you guys and gals and cats and dogs in the next video. Until next time, take care. Bye!